Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the Ministry of Education and Partners COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program. The Ministry of Education and Partners COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program is a 30-minute radio intervention support program that is meant to provide continuous instruction to keep you academically engaged during this stay-at-home period, as well as preparing you, our 6th, 9th, and 12th graders for the pending Liberia Primary School Certificate Exam, Liberia Junior High School Certificate Exam, and West Africa Senior Secondary Certificate Exam when the time comes. Also, in addition to this academic support, the program is meant to provide psychosocial support for learners, teachers, and parents, and also tips on how you as parents and teachers can provide support to your students and children at home. Now, let's join our teacher for today's lesson.
Hello, boys and girls. I am your teacher, Mrs. Florence B. Kroma, Grammar Grade 5. Welcome. Today, we are going to do a grammar lesson for students of Grade 5, and the topic is Verb Tenses. The topic is Verb Tenses. Please take your pencil, pen, and copybook and get ready for today's lesson. Again, welcome and let's learn. As you get your materials, let us hear an awareness message on COVID-19.
Coronavirus is spread via droplets. When the person coughs or sneezes, the droplets land on surfaces and are picked up on the hands of others and spread further. People catch the virus when they touch their infected hands to their mouth, nose, or eyes. It follows that the single most important thing you can do to protect yourself is keep your hands clean by washing them frequently with soap and water or hand sanitizer.
Welcome back, boys and girls. In our grammar lesson today, we will define action verbs, identify verbs in sentences, define verb tense, discuss 3 verb tenses, identify the tenses of verbs in sentences. Verbs are words that show actions or describe a state of being. Verbs show what someone or something is doing or how someone or something is. Verbs are words that show actions or describe a state of being. Verbs shows what someone or something is doing or how someone is or someone or something is. For example, the words dance, play, walk, look, write, and are verbs. For example, the words dance, play, walk, look, write, and are verbs. Boys and girls, take out your copybooks and pencils or pens and put them on the table or bench before you. I repeat, take out your copybooks and pencils or pens and put them on the table or bench before you. Now, boys and girls, listen carefully as I read some sentences. Write the verb in the sentence in your copybook. I repeat, listen carefully as I read some sentences. Write the verb in the sentence in your copybook. The first sentence is Mary dances well. Mary dances well. What is the verb in this sentence? Write it in your copybook. Mary dances well. Did you write dances? D-A-N-C-E-S. Dances. Yes, dances is the verb in the sentence. The next sentence is the children play. The children play. What is the verb in this sentence? Write it in your copybook. The verb in the sentence is play. P-L-A-Y. Play. Let us listen to another sentence. I walk to school every day. I walk to school every day. What is the verb in this sentence? Write it in your copybook. Our last sentence is my teacher writes a story. My teacher writes a story. What is the verb in this sentence? Write it in your copybook. Well done if you wrote writes. W-R-I-T-E-S. Writes. Boys and girls, now let us move to the next part of our lesson. In this part, we will discuss verb tenses focusing on the present, past, and the future tenses. In this part, we will discuss verb tenses focusing on the present, past, and the future tenses. Verb have tenses. Verb have tenses. Tense tells when the action happens. It tells if the action takes place now, present tense, has taken place, past tense, or will take place, future tense. Verb have tenses. Tense tells when the action happens. It tells if the action takes place now, present tense, has taken place, past tense, or will take place, future tense. Let us pause for an awareness message on COVID-19. When we return, we will discuss each of these tenses. There are many tenses. For this lesson, we will focus on the present, past, and the future tenses. There are many tenses. For this lesson, we will focus on the present, past, and the future tenses. The present tense describes an action that is going on now. I am teaching you now. The present tense. The present tense describes an action that is going on now. Boys and girls, write 3 sentences in the present tense in your copybook. Write 3 sentences in the present tense in your copybook. Wow! You made some very good sentences, I guess. Now, let us listen to some examples. Please write the sentences as I read them. Again, let us listen to some examples. Please write the sentences as I read them. I eat rice daily. I eat rice daily. She sings in the choir. She sings in the choir. The blackbird flies over the house. The blackbird flies over the house. The blackbird flies over the house. They clean the grass. They clean the grass. The rabbits hop around. The rabbits hop around. Remember, the present tense describes an ongoing action. What is happening now? The past tense describes a completed action or an action that has happened. Past tense. The past tense describes a completed action or an action that has happened. What I did yesterday. Boys and girls, write 3 sentences in the past tense in your copybook. Write 3 sentences in the past tense in your copybook. Very good. You have made some good sentences. Now, let us listen to some examples. Please write the sentence in your copybook as I read them. Read the sentences again. Let us listen to some examples. Please write the sentences as I read them. Read each sentence. 1. I ate rice yesterday. 1. I ate rice yesterday. 2. She sang in the choir. She sang in the choir. 3. The blackbird flew over the house. 3. The blackbird flew over the house. 4. They cleaned the grass. They cleaned the grass. 5. The rabbits hopped around. The rabbits hopped around. Are you finished? Good. Now, let us discuss the future tense. Now, boys and girls, let us discuss the future tense. This tense, I will travel tomorrow. This sentence is in the future tense. I will travel tomorrow. This sentence is in the future tense. The future tense describes an action that has not happened or a state of being that does not exist but will happen or exist in the future. The future tense describes an action that has not happened or a state of being that does not exist but will happen or exist in the future. Remember, the present tense describes an ongoing action or state of being. Remember, the present tense describes an ongoing action or state of being. The past tense describes a completed action or a state of being that no longer exists. It is not existing. It is not happening again. It has passed. The future tense describes an action that will take place now. The future tense describes an action that will take place. That means it is not happening now. It has not happened, but it will happen. Boys and girls, can you write 3 sentences in the future tense in your copybook? Again, well done, boys and girls. Very good. You made some very good sentences. Now, let us listen to some examples. Please write the sentences in your copybook as I read them. Please write the sentences in your copybook as I read them. Again, let us listen to some examples. Please write the sentences as I read them. 1. I will eat rice tomorrow. I will eat rice tomorrow. She will sing in the choir. She will sing in the choir. The blackbird will fly over the house. The blackbird will fly over the house. They will clean the grass. They will clean the grass. The rabbits will hop around. The rabbits will hop around. Let us pause for an awareness message on COVID-19. When we return, we'll practice identifying verb tenses.
What are the symptoms of COVID-19? COVID-19 symptoms include cough, fever, shortness of breath. In rare cases, COVID-19 can lead to severe respiratory problem, kidney failure, or death. If you have a fever or any kind of respiratory difficulty, such as coughing and shortness of breath, call your doctor.
Welcome back, boys and girls. In this last activity of our lesson, we will practice identifying the tenses of verbs in sentences. In this last activity of our lesson, we will practice identifying the tenses of verbs in sentences. I will read some sentences. You will decide if the verb is in the present, past, or future tense. I will read some sentences. You will decide if the verb is in the present, past, or future tense. Again, I will read some sentences. You will decide if the verb is in the present, past, or future tense. Here is an example. Daniel played football. Daniel played football. Daniel played football. Again, Daniel played football. What is the tense of the verb? The verb in the past tense, played, P-L-A-Y-E-D, is the past tense of play. The verb is in the past tense. Played, P-L-A-Y-E-D, is the past tense of play. Listen to these sentences and identify the tense of the verb in each of the sentences. 1. The frog jumped into the river. 1. The frog jumped into the river. 2. We buy fish from the market. 2. We buy fish from the market. 3. We were tired. 3. We were tired. 4. The farmers will grow cassava. 4. The farmers will grow cassava. 5. The children read their books. 5. The children read their books. 6. Joe will build the fence. 6. Joe will build the fence. Now, boys and girls, let us review our answers. Sentence number 1. The frog jumped into the river. The frog jumped into the river. The verb jump is in the past tense. Sentence number 2. We buy fish from the market. We buy fish from the market. The verb buy is in the present tense. The verb buy is in the present tense. Sentence number 3. We were tired. We were tired. The verb were is in the past tense. It is the past tense of the verb to be. Sentence number 4. The farmers will grow cassava. The farmers will grow cassava. The farmers will grow cassava. The verb is in the future tense. Will grow is in the future tense of the verb grow. Will grow is in the future tense of the verb grow. Sentence number 5. The children read their books. The children read their books. The verb is in the past tense. Read is the past tense of read. Read is the past tense of read. Joe will build a fence. Joe will build a fence. The verb is in the future tense. Joe will build the fence. The verb is in the future tense. Will build is the future tense of the verb build. Will build is in the future tense of the verb build. Boys and girls, this brings us to the end of our lesson for today. In our lesson today, we defined verb and we identified verb in sentences. We also defined verb tense, discussed 3 verb tenses, present, past, and future, and identified the tenses of verbs in sentences. In our next lesson, we will discuss the present tense in detail. We will look at the uses, different forms of the present tense, and verb-subject agreements. Please remember to stay safe until our next lesson. If you have questions or need clarifications on today's lesson, please text it to the following numbers: 0886 918 994, 0776 09 2625. Again, 0886 918 994 or 0776 09 2625.